Are you oversensitive? Do people constantly say, don't be so oversensitive, like don't take it personally, all that stuff like that? Are you finding that you are highly sensitive? Guys, this video is personal. If you don't like my personal videos, I'm just gonna say straight up because it does get a little personal, but if you're highly sensitive, you might want to stay too. So I saw this article posted on Facebook today by one of my friends, and it was titled 16 Habits of Highly Sensitive People on the HuffPost page, where they're always posting articles and stuff. So I immediately clicked it because I know for a fact I'm highly sensitive, and I thought it was funny because lately I've been finding myself becoming more and more highly sensitive, and I was actually talking to my mom about it the other day, and you know, things affect me very easily, and I'm just very emotional. I'm like wicked empathetic, and things just affect me really hard. I feel very hard. I don't know. So, I don't know. I'm highly sensitive, and I was reading the 16 Habits of Highly Sensitive People, and I was like, wow, this is hitting that nail right on the head. So I thought I would just share it with you guys and see if any of you guys are highly sensitive. Do you guys share these habits like I do? And I find it interesting, and I wonder if other people feel this way too. Clearly they do if they posted an article on it. So anyway, I'll get into it. So at the top of the article it says, do you feel like you reflect on things more than everyone else? Do you find yourself worrying about how other people feel? Do you prefer quieter, less chaotic environments? And I'm like, check, check, check. If that sounds true to you, you might be highly sensitive, it says. The first personality trait, which was researched by Elaine N. Aaron, PhD, in the early 90s, is relatively common, with as many as 1 in 5 people possessing it. She did multiple studies on the high sensitivity and wrote a book on it, and it helps to determine with the test if you are, and these are some of the things. And this woman noted that highly sensitive people tend to be considered the minority, but minority doesn't mean bad. In fact, being highly sensitive carries a multitude of positive characteristics. And then it posts some of the habits. So the first one is that we feel more deeply. And here it basically just says that we're very intuitive and we go deep into trying to figure everything out. We're not just surfacing, we like to dive deeper. The second trait is we are more emotionally reactive, and this is very me as well. I find that I react highly to everything. You know, really happy things, I get really happy, and things that are really sad, even, you know, in my friend's life will make me really sad too. Very empathetic. I feel what other people feel very strongly. It says they also may have more concern about how another person may be reacting in the face of a negative event. We really care about how other people react, and we react hard with them. The third one is that they're probably used to hearing, don't take things so personally, and why are you so sensitive? And that's what I said in the beginning, because it's something that we hear. And it actually depends what culture you're in. A lot of other cultures, it says here, that sensitivity can be perceived as an asset or as a negative trait. It says here that one of the people researching in this had interviewed other countries such as Thailand and India, and they were rarely or never teased, while highly sensitive men in North America were frequently or always teased. So it's very cultural. Whether I didn't realize in other places, you know, being highly sensitive may not be perceived as such a negative thing and something to be teased about. Number 4, it says that we prefer to exercise solo, and I think that is just so funny because I will exercise with my friends on occasion, but personally, I do prefer to exercise alone. It says that we tend to avoid sports teams because everybody else is watching. In his research, the majority of highly sensitive people he interviewed preferred individual sports like biking, running, or hiking. Number 5, it takes longer for us to make decisions. Oh my god, I thought this was just a Capricorn thing. Maybe it is part of it, I'm not sure. But I must tell you, I take forever to make decisions. I literally, half the time when I go out, I can't even decide like what sandwich I want from Subway. That's how bad it is, guys. And then it says for number 6, on that note, we are more upset if we make the bad or wrong decision, and we tend to dwell on it, which is so true. It says highly sensitive people are more aware of subtleties and details that could make decisions harder to make. We are very, very detail oriented, and we think every aspect of that decision through to make sure we make the right decision. Highly sensitive people will tend to take longer to choose because they're weighing out every possible outcome, it says. It's so crazy how accurate this is. And it says, do you know that uncomfortable feeling you get after you realize you've made a bad decision? For highly sensitive people, that emotion is amplified because the emotional reactivity is higher. We just feel everything more strongly. Number 7, we're extremely detail-oriented, like I had said before. It's like it all just blends together. Highly sensitive people are the first ones to notice small details in the room, whether it's the new shoes you're wearing or the change in weather. So accurate. Number 8, not all highly sensitive people are introverts. In fact, about 30% of highly sensitive people are extroverts, according to Erin. I don't find myself to be an introvert. I think it actually really depends on the situation. You know, a lot of people I think are like me. I've heard from several people anyway that, you know, when we're in a first new uncomfortable situation, not even uncomfortable, but just like a new environment, we may be more introverted, which just means a little bit more shy. And, you know, as we get more comfortable in our surroundings, we become more extroverted and more comfortable and outgoing. Number 9, we work well in team environments. Because highly sensitive people are such deep thinkers, they make valuable workers and members of teams. However, they may be well suited for positions in teams where they don't have to make the final decision. For instance, if a highly sensitive person was part of a medical team, he or she would be valuable in analyzing the pros and cons of having the patient having surgery. Okay, so that's so funny. But then it says, but someone else would ultimately have to make the final decision. So it's, yeah, I find that funny overall. Just to hear about the pros and cons, it is funny. I make pros and cons lists quite frequently because, again, I'm such a detailed thinker and I really like to make the right decisions for me. But overall, I really do need help in making the final decision. This is all just too accurate. I literally can't even get over it. Sorry if I sound crazy, I just can't get over it. Number 10, they're more prone to anxiety or depression, but only if they've had a lot of negative experiences in the past. And it says here, if you've had a fair number of bad experiences early in life, especially, where you don't feel safe in the world, or you don't feel secure at home or school, or nervous, your nervous system will set to anxious. But that's not all highly sensitive people will go on to have anxiety. So I'm gonna say I do tend to have a little bit of anxiety, nothing too heavy. I tend to experience more anxiety when I am transitioning to kind of a new life thing going on. You know, when I started school last year, I got a little anxiety because it was new. When I start a new job, I get anxiety. When life tends to change, that kind of is what happens. I get a little bit more anxious. Parents of highly sensitive children in particular need to realize that these are great kids, but they need to be handled in the right way. You can't overprotect or underprotect. We just need to help them feel confident. So yeah, I would say that my mom did an amazing job in raising me to be confident. As you guys know, I'm very confident in my body and myself, and my mom has really raised me to help me feel that way, which I appreciate. I love you, Mama. Number 11, that annoying sound is probably significantly more annoying to a highly sensitive person. While it's hard to say anyone is a fan of annoying noises, highly sensitive people are on a whole more, well, sensitive to chaos and noise. That's because they easily tend to be more overwhelmed and overstimulated by too much activity. Yeah, I believe that. Number 12 is way too accurate for me. Violent movies are the worst. My boyfriend loves action movies and I just don't. I can't watch violence on the screen. Anybody, all my friends and family know this. When I see even fake, you know, in movies, people beating each other up or killing somebody, it makes me sick to my stomach. I literally want to cry and vomit. I've always been like this. You can call me a baby if you want, but I'm extremely sensitive to that kind of thing. It just makes me sick, especially when it's real. Like watching it on the news and stuff, I can't. It just boggles my mind that people hurt each other. I can't. It says because highly sensitive people are so high in empathy and more easily overstimulated, movies with violence or horror themes may not be their cup of tea. Totally true for me. Number 13, they cry more easily. Ha ha ha, yeah. Okay, it says that's why it's important for highly sensitive people to put themselves in situations where they won't be made to feel embarrassed or wrong for crying easily. So, and friends and family realize that's just how they are, they cry easily, and then support them in the form of expression. In the form of expression that crying easily will not be seen as something shameful. So, yes, my friends and family are absolutely aware that I cry easily. You guys probably think I'm a little crazy after listening to all this, but as I said, it's personal, and I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way. My boyfriend's really seen it. I don't know why I pointed behind me. He's not in the room or anything. He's not even here. But he is aware that I am a highly sensitive person. He totally is aware of that, and especially when I'm transitioning into a new period of my life. So my mom, my friends, my family, my boyfriend, everybody is super, super kind and thoughtful when I'm, you know, in a crying mood. They know exactly how to handle me, and I'm very grateful for them. So I love you guys. Number 14, they have above average manners. This is so true, guys. Pet peeve. I literally cannot stand people with bad manners. Say thank you, you're welcome. Oh, God bless you. That's totally how I am. It says, highly sensitive people are also conscientious people. Because of this, they're more likely to be considerate and exhibit good manners, more likely to notice when someone else isn't being conscientious. For example, highly sensitive people may be more aware of their cart at the grocery store, not because they're afraid of someone will steal something, but because they don't want to be rude and have their cart blocking another person's way. That's exactly how I am. I'm very aware of my surroundings and making sure that I'm always being like the nicest person I can be. I don't know. I don't know if this sounds weird, but this is just all too accurate. I'm in complete awe. Number 15, the effects of criticism are especially amplified in highly sensitive people. Highly sensitive people have reactions to criticism that are more intense than less sensitive people. As a result, they may employ certain tactics to avoid said criticism, including people-pleasing, so that there's no longer anything to criticize, criticizing themselves first, and avoiding the source of criticism altogether, which I absolutely believe is true. Over time, though, I've become more accepting and aware of criticism. I don't take it as negative anymore, and I don't people please as much as I used to. I've really come a long way in that. But I absolutely have been there before where I could never say no to people because I didn't want to hear negative reactions or criticism. But after a while, I have tended to learn to look after myself, which is very important, and you can't always people please. You gotta watch out for yourself. Yeah, it says people can say something negative and a non-highly sensitive person can just say whatever and brush it off. It doesn't affect them. But a highly sensitive person feels it more deeply. So if you are around highly sensitive people, kind of just be aware that they're sensitive. You know, be nice. Number 16, it says cubicles equals good, open office plans equal bad. Just like highly sensitive people tend to prefer solo workouts, they may also prefer solo work environments. Zeph says that highly sensitive people enjoy working from home or being self-employed because they can control the stimuli in their work environments. I'm not so sure that one applies to me, only because I haven't worked in an office environment. As you guys know, I'm studying cosmetology to be a hairstylist, but I do enjoy working solo on hair projects and stuff like that. But anyway, I just really was amazed at this article, and I feel a little bit better knowing that there are people just as sensitive as myself, and it is a work in progress. And I love that we can be open in articles now, and that, you know, everything's coming to fruition. Like, everybody can be open and be themselves. Like, highly sensitive people, that's just us. That's just me. That's my fellow HSPs, highly sensitive people. So please comment below if you are also a highly sensitive person, and if you enjoyed this article, and if you want, I can try to find it and I'll link it in the description box. You guys can read it for yourself if you find it interesting. I thought it was a really great article to read, and that people are actually researching it, because, you know, if you're not aware that there are other highly sensitive people, you might think there's something wrong with you. It's simply a personality trait, and it doesn't have to be taken the wrong way. Think of it as you just feel more deeply. You have a really strong heart, and you feel for other people, and that's a beautiful thing. So embrace it, and thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, you are all beautiful and lovely human beings, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I love you guys bunches. Mwah. Bye.